What's up, everybody? You should be able to hear me. Music seems fine, maybe a bit too quiet actually. Okay, that should be better. Let me tweet that the stream is starting. Okay. Okay, the tweet should be out, sorry. And let's just get started, I guess. Okay, so yesterday we pretty much finished the player dismount logic. But there's one issue, as in, okay, and I would like to refactor that for the spawn particle method to also use it. Okay, but there's one issue that the boat, it puts you inside of a block when you dismount. An image of that is in my tweet, so you can check that out if you want. But let me check the boat again. Okay, if it's not on water, then just does super, which I guess I should do too, instead of doing all of that. Okay, yeah, instead of doing all of that, I can just do super. That should be it. So that we handle special and make it and do special stuff only for the controlling passenger. So let me see what it looks like. And then I've also off stream watched the tutorial I mentioned yesterday, so the Cowban Joe's networking tutorial, and yeah, here's the code, and I more or less know what has to be done, so we'll try to start with that. Let me change the playlist to, I guess, that. I guess for now it can stay. Fine. So let's see. If I dismount, okay, I'm still put behind. Shoved me out from the block. What about a passenger? No, dismounts me on top. Okay, so I think I won't. I mean, it's both fine, and kind of prefer the old method of the dismount being where the player's looking at. I think I've liked that more, so let's bring that back. And then let's see how to handle the not not dismounting somebody inside of a block. Okay, so let's see. Here I have X, get X, Y, get Y. Lords get bounding box. Where did I do? Okay, that's offset vector, okay. And so I still have that. And I hate that formatting. It looks so awful to me. But that's part of the constructor. That's... I don't want to call it a skill issue. Let's restart. Now the cargo passenger should be dismounted where they are looking at. And okay, I wanted boat entity. See how it gets. Okay, so it gets world and then checks dismount height. Okay, I gotta do that. So I wasn't sure how to check. Maybe that's a bit too much. Or I mean, I think it's as big as it can be, or rather as small as it can be. I mean, it's fine. It's more or less okay. Numbers can stay for now. Let's make sure the passenger entity works. The passenger, whatever. Okay. Okay, so that is what I want. See next to slabs and next to blocks. Blocks. Okay, so next to slabs I'm dismounted there, so I guess I have to check the block that's there and then put me on top. Good, and same for that. Okay, so let's do that. And then do the same for the player. So I need to do get world, okay. So, this get world. Block at get block. Position. How do you get the block? Is water. Get dismount height for that, maybe that's fine. Dismount height for the... okay, that's not quite it. I also need X and Y. Block collision, supplier, get dimension. Okay, what's a block position? Block pose, maybe? And what does it take? Vector. X. Block pose, get Y. Z. Double integer. Okay, what constructors do I have available? Of 3 integers. Or a vector. Okay, so that's also a vector integer. Okay, world block at block. Let's see what methods are there. Server is client. Is in build limit. Is valid. Valid vertically. Get chunk. Set block state. Unblock changed. Unblock break particles. Update neighbors. Get top Y of a sitemap. Get block state. Okay. Of floored. Yes, I guess I am using actually just that. That's fine. Okay, why is it like that? Why do I check X here but not Z? What happens if I do that actually? Because this looks like I fucked up. Probably when copying that from the boot entity. Okay, it got X and Z first. Okay, my bad then. So let's see if that fixes it. And maybe X or rather Y is going to be correct now. Nope, still not. So I'm here, okay. So I wonder why. Okay, but let's see. I have the block position. Maybe just doing that, get this mount height for the block position. And when does it return double? So double y equals that, and let's do that here. Let's also print it out. This mount height. Let's see what that looks like. And also I have to check the gas controlling passenger. I think that's incorrect. Yeah, because I just checked the first passenger, so technically, so I'll do that in a moment. To check first animal. Okay, I think that's might be wrong too. Person animal somehow gets in, although it shouldn't be able to once I change the yoinking logic. But whatever, let's handle that anyway. Okay, we seem to be underground. How much underground? Quite a bit. What? A lot, actually. What happened? Hmm. Failed to log in. Okay, set owns. Font height is a half. Okay, so okay, I know. So I gotta add that to the block position Y. Mount Y. Offset, and now I gotta do block position. Get Y plus dismount Y offset. Okay, so let's see if that helps. Make offset you aware. Okay, so that's a comment, just an info comment, not to do. Wish it stopped spawning me in a different spot every time. I'm on the second thing. Okay, so that's great. And now we are on top of the block. Okay, that's awesome. That's working. Now we just gotta do the same for that guy. Okay. That was quick and simple. Okay. Entity, cargo, passenger, dismount, block height. Let's make it a fix, and cargo passenger dismount side of a block. Okay, well, finally. Okay, now I gotta do that. No, this get Y, but instead I'm not sure about get bounding box max Y. Maybe just this get Y is fine. And then I do the same. Get Y. Dismount offset. Dismount Y offset. Okay. Can I do double X and Y? And block position, block pose. And now do that. Dismount Y offset, okay. Something like that. So I'm not using Y. I think I like that better. Let's see if I didn't break anything. And I want to move those to a helper and make sure that they work for spawn particle too. Okay, so let's see, that still works. See, that should dismount me okay on top, and that also should dismount me on top. Okay, great. I wonder what's going to happen if I have 2 blocks there. Okay. That's kind of expected. Okay, that's whatever. That's an edge case I don't think I care about. Okay, so that should be dismount here, that's correct, on top, and again on top. Okay, great. So we've got that working. Let's do the 2 to-dos and I want to address. Fix entity, controlling passenger, hello streamer, hi viewer, what's up? Controlling passenger, dismount inside of a block, or rather maybe let's call that on top. Okay, and now let's see for the particles. Spawn particles. Now let me make that here. Is that music too loud? No, it seems fine. And do I return? Okay, I do return from here. Result, and let's call that success, I think. Okay, and gonna comment that. I'm not sure if compiler lets me just have unused block, and or rather unreachable code. Okay, so that should make it so if I can just spam right click on the wheelbarrow and it will spawn particles. And then I should just have to make that a method. Okay, so these are rotated as they should be. Now, if I were to spawn particle, okay, if I were to remove that from here, plus X, okay. So if I were to do that, then they should stop being rotated. Man, go back. Go back there, okay. And then I should be able to just have that method be the same. Sure, what I'm going to call it. Let's make sure they aren't rotated anymore and then make it a helper. Yeah, so that's just the same as hitboxes, I think. Okay, I mean, here it looks more or less correct, but now it should look totally off. So let's make that a private, so it can be protected. And I so don't care about the access modifiers. In my opinion, everything should just be accessible, and then maybe marked with you shouldn't have to use it, but if you really need to, then you should be able to. And if you know what you are doing and you really want to, just go ahead, buddy. Okay, so protected. Rotate. Rotate. X and Y. Maybe. Rotate. Close with you. Protected. Okay, it has to return. I think. Rotate. What is it? Chord. Man, that sounds so bad. Yes, a double. Now. No, that's just offset. Double offset. Oh man, okay, it has to take two doubles. Can I return a tuple? Are there tuples in Java? Java tuple. Okay, there aren't. So how do I return two values? Maybe I should just pass in a vector. I don't care about that. Man, I just want to return two values. Let's see, maybe somebody has had the same problem. Return multiple values. Okay, that's bright. Oh, that's fine. I hate that. Alright, collections. Okay, maybe just a boolean to offset with your double value is x, boolean is x. And here I gotta do man, I've been streaming that whole time with microphone muted. Ah, I'm so annoyed. So I had to mute myself for a moment. And this is like 10 minutes. I'm so mad. I was saying that I'm going to undo that refactor since it wasn't working and I don't care that much. And yeah, I just made a smaller performance one that should help a bit with issues that I didn't have. Wheelbarrow 1.0. I mean, it can be that, I guess. Oh, I have to take care of the CI sooner or later because we are making progress. So I would expect that in like next 2 weeks, maybe max 3, we should be finished with the wheelbarrow. Okay, so what was I checking? Okay, I was checking the controlling passenger. That's null. Let's get a cow. Get in, buddy. Okay, so it's a cow. Now it's the player. Okay. I mean, that's not that wrong, but also not quite right. I mean, I guess entities are controlling passengers. Controlling passenger. Okay, so I get the first passenger, and what's the built-in? Get first passenger. So that just gets first one. So how does it switch? Where does it move me to the node? Rather, what does it mean? What makes me the controlling passenger? What puts me in charge? Not sure what's putting me in charge. Make sure I stay in charge. I mean, I do stay in charge because otherwise that dismount would be wrong. Just make sure. I don't know which part takes care of that. I mean, I'm not going to mind. I'm not going to complain about it working, I guess. Okay, let's go back to scrolling on its own, okay. So that's 5, 3, 5. Okay, so that should be 5, 6, 8, 2, 5, 35, and that's still the case. Okay, I'm not sure why it's working, but I'm happy that it is. And this mount position is done. Now let's finally add controls, hopefully. Steering. Okay, so let's start with network. Not this, what I need. See here there are mod messages. Okay, and that's a bit unfortunate, the way these are registered. I mean, it's not really, but it's going to be annoying that I have these in two different spots. That's fine. Okay, so let's add mod messages. Package, assassin mode, network, export, okay, not export. Public class mode messages. Hmm. And these would be server messages, actually, if I think about that. Okay, now it doesn't make sense because messages are shared. But the packets aren't. I'm probably also going to need that for the eating of passengers. So it's fine to get made, but let me think about how I want the separation, client server separation to be. I don't know. Because I'm not a fan of splitting these. They are pretty closely related. Let's see, where are the packets inside here? So I guess I can have mod messages only on server. And then have client packets on client. Yeah, because this is going to be called here in mod client. That's fine. Okay. Let's have those two methods for now, empty for now. Register clients to server, server to client. Here let's call mod messages, register clients to server, okay, server to client, yep. Is that correct? Client to server, actually. Okay, so it's the other way around. And in client, we register server to client. In both ways, it can make sense. Here I need mod messages. Register, was it? Server to client. Server to client, client to server, okay. Now I'm going to need packets. See, packets actually just handle the receive. And that's for translation. And there's a custom check. So now I would like to tap into the client to server. I'd like to tap into client to server, the input. The input, what is it? The import client, okay, let's import that. There. Import client player entity. I would like to tap into those packets. Where are they? Those. Okay, so there's send packet. And that's receive. See on client. That's not it. Where's the client logic? I think it's in a mixin. Example mixin, nope. And in a keybind, I think. Where was the keybind? Event, okay, here in key input handler. And it's doing the client play networking. Send, okay, and here's an ID and a byte. Packet byte buffer buffs, maybe. Maybe it's a buffer. Okay, but here there's no ID, so that's unfortunate. Where does ID come from? So it's cast to a packet of unknown type. They're referable in writing. Okay. So probably a custom packet I'm going to have to extend. What's that? Implements a packet, okay. How do I make a channel for those packets? Because I don't see ID. Apply, get X, get this, change position. Current X. System ground, okay. Look, and okay, so that's the second packet that's being sent. Class full. Where's that used? Just here. Public static full, okay, so inside of the read. Okay, right half is that. Okay, don't quite understand all of what's going on here. I do understand that I need to tap into that packet and also receive it. Sideways speed. Okay, get yo. I need both of these packets, I think. I'm trying to think. This logical side, okay, so that's another packet that just takes in the entity. Vehicle move clients to server packet. So that's here. Trying to figure out how to tap into these send packet. Send packet, common network handler. Reach client player tickable with tick. Okay, let's try. Let's try and find it in, or rather with the the recap. Okay, see, this is client only. I might need server thingy, but let's first search. Plus references that. Okay, so we have these. Client play network handler. I think that's where this is declared. No, it's not. See, port, client play. Okay, so that's how I send that packet, I think. Client play network handler. Okay, it doesn't say what it is. Okay, but that's send packet, isn't it? Send packet, yep. So that's for sending. Send, send, send. So I'm guessing on server, I need to somehow receive that. Let's try to open this server. From Clash, Minecraft Maven, Net, and now come on. Hopefully that's here. Okay, it is. It's promising. Server network, server play network handler. Server play network, play network handler. Okay, it has first access to PlayStage server-side network functionalities. Server-side networking functionalities include receiving server-bound packets, sending client. Okay, that's all I want. Maybe not all, but that is what I want. That should be only used for the logical server. Classic registration method. Okay, register global receiver, identifier, and a handler. So that's the same thing here. Okay, not here, but here. Identifier and handler. Okay, yeah, that's the same method. The newer method utilizing packet type. Okay, that's what I want. Packet objects. For most mods, using the newer method will improve the readability of the code by separating packet, reading, writing code to a separate class. Additionally, the newer method executes the callback in the server thread, ensuring thread safety. For this reason, using the newer method is highly recommended. Okay, so that's great. Okay, that should be simple. Okay, so I need that. Where am I? That's client player class, entity, tick. Maybe I don't need that for the moment. I should be able to close that. Now I need here packets. What's that actually called? Packets and remove clients to server packet. Then Java. Okay, so there are two types. I think that's fine. I can have both of these here. Okay, but let's also check the vehicle move packet. I have no idea what it's why that's there. It's just empty, or rather it just takes in the vehicle entity. So package, network, packets, okay. Okay, let's see what the handler looks like. Just like that. Plus, now I need a public static void receive. I'm not sure what it has to take, so let's see. client to server packets. And I think that's the one I want to register. Server play networking, register, receiver, global receiver. Need packet type, which is going to be player input, client to server packet. Now this is going to be the player move CTOS packet from here, receive. And we resolve to a variable. So now let's first check the look. Is not resolved. Public static, it is public. Okay, I messed that up with move. And there's still an error. Packet, whatever, let's call that receiver, I guess. Receivers. And don't think that's how we type receive. Yeah, I think it's I first. Okay, never mind. It is receive. Oh man, I'm player move C2S. Is that everything? Okay, I think I've done it. I think there's an error because player move C2S packet. Okay, and now my receive method's signature is incorrect probably. And no, it's not. It's still that for some reason. And this is a public abstract class. No, these are public thingies. Look and on ground. It can be resolved to a variable. Okay, not sure why. The channel handler identifier. So maybe I need a packet type, import packet type. Okay, that makes sense. Get type. Prefabric packet, okay, so that's not it. Because I want to use a built-in packet, extends fabric packet. Type of packet. An instance of this should be created per fabric packet. What's the channel ID? No. Thought we had it. Packet type. Okay, so channel name, identifier, or packet type. Register. The handler is already registered for the type. This method will return false. No change will be made. Maybe I cannot have multiple receivers. So that's unfortunate. Identifier ID. So this is a packet from network, Minecraft packet, not a fabric packet. Send the packet. Okay, how do I listen to those packets? Yes, I do need the recap again, after all. Load recent. Let's search again for the... Actually, let's do this one. On player input. So I mean, I could just... Okay, I have client player entity and the packet open, so I don't care about packet. Port. Server play network handler. Server play network. That. Okay, so there's a logger on player input. This player update input. Server player entity has vehicle. When does it happen only on player input? I mean, I think the simplest thing would actually just be to add a mix in here that calls all of that. Update input, and is there update EO? If I can't, I guess because it doesn't seem we will be able to. This method is used to determine whether player sending and vehicle movement packets to the server should be kicked. Okay. On player move. So there's on player input and on player move. Okay, if it's movement invalid, then we disconnect. Otherwise, we clamp stuff. Okay. If player has vehicle, we do player update position and angles. G and H is probably EO and pitch, okay? We update player's position. Because first an input packet is sent, and then the move packet is sent. That packet, yeah, has EO and pitch, okay? Get X, get Y, get Z. So these are okay. What's that? Okay, no. Get velocity is sleeping. Tick manager should tick is sending packets too frequently. Okay, box, updated stuff, okay, a lot of logic here. Okay, so where do I want to inject then, I guess? So I do need pitch and yaw, which are gotten here. When does it happen? Only if the player has vehicle. Net position and angles. Where are the okay angles are there? I mean, I also could have the okay, no, I don't want that actually. So I think it would make sense. Would it? So I was going to say that maybe it would make sense to inject here, and if it's a wheelbarrow entity, and just early return and skip all of that. And handle the position in the wheelbarrow. No, that doesn't seem right either. One player move. And I'm struggling to decide. I can't decide where would be the ideal place to put it. Maybe I should actually just inject that update input. Server player entity. Update input. Okay, so that was being called client player entity. Here on player input. So while that's fine. This player update input. So maybe I can just inject here. Okay, actually, if we have vehicle, we set sideways. Okay, if it's bigger than those two, then oh man, I just can't connect the dots. Like I have everything there, and still can't do that. Okay, so first update input happens. Movement input, travel. Where's that used? Travel. Not sure. Outside, I guess. That's probably for challenge. For actually, not challenge, not achievement, and statistics. Let's close that. Server player entity client. Okay, so yeah, first input happens, remind first, and move happens, and then input. So actually, on player move. First that happens, but then I just close that. Which one was it? Tools, client, player, entity. But I don't think it contains. It just has yaw and pitch and is on ground. If we have vehicle, as we do send movement packets, okay, so then we send all of that to fine. Makes sense. We have that. Packets are sent, and then we do something with that. And send sprinting packets to. Vehicle. On vehicle move. Invalid vehicle movement. So packet is that, which takes in, okay, so just entity. So I guess that's just for disconnecting, or is it for moving to? If entity is different from this player, an entity engage controlling passenger is this player. So if it's not a vehicle, topmost read an entity, not sure what that means. Okay, and then we do all of that for the entity, rather for the vehicle. Okay, so we update the vehicle too, basically. Landing. Entity move. Okay. And the position of the player. Entity is on air, vehicle floating. I'm struggling so hard. So much, I guess. Figuring out how to do it. So I mean, let's try to Moonlight Lib. Let's check that out. And let's, in Linky, try to find the version that matches it. Maybe there I can see where the inject is actually happening. Channel handler example, local player mixin. Okay, so this is at the tick method. They're at AI step. But this is for local players, so I'm guessing the client player. Let's see, what version could that be? Or let's check that first. Local player. Local player UID, not that. I hope it's on Fabric. Nope. No, it's not either. Let's check 119. And if that's not it, then local player. Maybe it's Forge. Then something translates it. Local player. Okay, maybe in Mojang official, whatever that is. Doesn't seem like it. Merging via intermediary. Check 1.20.1. Okay. Oh, I'm only on fields, I'm a dumbass. On classes, local player, okay, we've got that. So it's not, okay, so it is on 1.20.4, is it? Okay, it's not on 1.20.4, it's on 1.20.1. Okay, or it's not. I think it's on Mojang via intermediary. So now there is it in 1.20.4? It is. So how do... Okay, why is there intermediary versus yarn? Fabric, Mojang, intermediary. Different Minecraft versions. This repository contains the image information between different versions of Minecraft created by the Fabric project, as well as the intermediary mappings we use. Okay. That makes sense that we would have something like that. Why don't I have access to these? Intermediary, nope. Maybe it's on Fabric Wiki. Just 6 gigabytes of RAM. Intermediary mappings. Updating intermediary. Fabric, how to use intermediary. Mappings. Guess I've skipped that. Property of Minecraft's obfuscation is that it's not always consistent between Minecraft versions. A class may be called ABC in one version and ABD in another. Java code may be compiled for one version of a library and still work with another, making the two versions of the binary compatible. Put simply, binary compatibility is achieved if the library exposes at least the same classes with the same methods and fields with the same names. Okay, so if it's the same. The inconsistency of Minecraft presents a challenge. Okay, they are not meaningful and instead follow a numeric pattern. Being a stable mapping intermediary can make Minecraft binary compatible across multiple versions. Okay, but how do I use that? Remapping. There's a command line to interface. Tiny Fabric Loader uses tiny remapper to remap the Minecraft code to intermediary. Room is also capable of remapping Java source code. Tasks. Web tasks, publishing, verification. Remap sources to intermediary mappings. Migrate mappings. The build project jar. Default sources. Gen sources. Okay, so I mean, it would probably make my life easier to use the intermediary mappings. I guess I want to be an edgy boy for a moment and just use the ones I've used so far. Is that not the default? But technically, doesn't that mean I can remap them and build for a different version? Remap sources jar. Remapping. Okay, both Java source code and compiled code can be remapped and involves changing the names of references. It does not change what the code does, as well as carefully renaming methods. Okay, so why is that not the default then? The jar, yarn names. Using mappings. Yarn is the default mapping tool by Loom. Yarn gradually improves and receives new resets as contributions are accepted. Mappings in Loom are specified using the mappings dependency configuration in the build script and can be updated by updating the dependency. Not with the mapping, okay. By changing the mappings in your development environment, you can expect that names of classes, methods, and fields in Minecraft and any included mods have changed. Okay, yes. But your code might have to be updated to reference the changed names. Process can be partially automated. You will also have to run gen sources. Loom's remap jar task. Okay. Produce the primary mode artifact, which is a built jar using intermediary names. However, it does not perform testing or validation, okay? Build should always be used to produce jars for end user use. Additionally, if a sources jar task is present, sources jar, don't see that one here. Remap sources jar will produce a sources jar with using intermediary names. Okay. So both of these produce jars. I guess I have to use, as of Loom 0.5, you can also use Mojang's official mappings rather than Yarn like this. Come with a usable yet more restrictive license than Yarn. Use them at your own risk. Okay, Mojang Java official mappings. Let's see what's that. What that is. Obfuscation map. Are programmed mappings from old names to new names for classes and class members that have been renamed. Have been exported in the client JSON for every snapshot. And is available in the launcher since that license. Provided as is, and you bear the risk of using them. You may use copy and use mappings for development purposes, but you may not redistribute the mappings complete and unmodified. Okay. No warranties expressed or implied with respect to the mappings provided here. Use and modification. Use and modification of this document or the source code is governed by that. No obfuscation mapping released before that would still be available under this older license. No surprise for modders. Modding obfuscation maps are now published. Okay. So, if yarn is built in, or rather in the default, in an ordinary Loom environment, yarn mappings are used, which provide meaningful names for that. Intermediary is also an essential type of mapping used by Fabric. Okay, using that remaps, Mojang mappings, custom mappings. If you have a custom branch of yarn you want to use for mappings, you can build yarn with gradle build command. Is there a W? What does gradle mean? Gradle. What does gradle mean? Okay. Gradle. Why is there a W? Whatever. Is there something about JavaScript? Yes? Oh. Okay, obfuscation maps. Okay, custom mappings, remapping. Okay, but how does one use the intermediary mappings? So here in AI tick, AI step, server AI step. Okay, so there's AI step. Then that's the after invoking the tick method, layer tick. Where is that? Tick, 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 tick. Tick. Right, tick. Here, variable 2, that's not it. So that's not invoked. Okay, so AI step, add an invocation of the input tick, okay. Input. Input tick, okay, so after that, after or before? After. After input tick, this is done. Okay, so first, crouching is set. Variable 4 is it's enough impulse to start sprinting. So I mean, this is called on client. I mean, that's what I would guess, because there's server AI step 2. Now I'm trying to think so hard. AI step. Installed outside the development environment. Provides an environment with intermediary. When installed outside the development environment, can be observed by looking at the crash report. Modes compiled with intermediary names as applied by Loom are naturally compatible. Okay, so I want to do two things. First, figure out where does my thing go then. Somewhere with this tutorial on input. Okay, so that's a start. Is using item, this is passenger and notice passenger. Then some impulses are done. Let me see again, what's the interface? Controllable. Okay, it takes in sprint and jumping. On input update, listener. Okay, so it gets vehicle. Then we get this input, okay. Is sprinting, I guess. And jumping. This Minecraft options key sprint is down. Okay, so let's first try to find that. I would guess that it's tutorial. Okay, so that should be on client, probably. So I don't need network for now. Just remove that. And priority tutorial. Okay, so that's this method, tick movement. Okay, so it seems to be actually exactly that. I have to watch the tutorial for updating the versions, because I do wonder how much is automated. Okay, so that's a mixin. I have to be targeting. That's my mixing target rather. Can I guess? Okay, this input jumping takes to next auto jump, okay. No clip. I mean, if that's how Moonlight Lip does it, I mean, it shouldn't be an issue with me doing the same. Sled. Let's go back here. And now let's see how do you use the intermediary stuff? Why is there to build gradles? Fabric, okay. Loom. Dependencies, mod implementation, fabric loader version, mod API. Come on, shadow, come on. Form, production, fabric, implementation, deobfuscation. That's commented. Loft config. And Curse Maven, some ID, I'm guessing. And the mod menu. Okay, let's not lose that. And control sled, so on input, I'm guessing on input update, okay, we set that. Then in tick method, we check for this control sled. Is code, let's see, at the end of the tick, okay. Is controlled by local instance, whatever that means. What's that? No clue what's happening here, nice. Maybe that's its logical site for updating movement. And it doesn't seem to have an implementation here. Local player controlling code. So if level is client side. Okay, so if is logical site for updating movement, and then okay, makes sense. I should already have that actually. Entity. On player handle, player input, yep. Okay, so that should be done on server. And why is there move? Why do I have that here? Always move. If movement is 0, it still has some calculations to do for wolf and hitbox, okay? Check block collision, so that... Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, but this should be done. So I don't think I need always move. If... Something about client. Okay, this get world is client. If is server, so let me move that. That has to be done. If not is server, then we do this. Okay. And I have to do set inputs and then handle player input. Maybe I should rename that. Steer, like steer. I don't think that's uh, more obvious than handle player input, but I like steer. Let's save steer. Okay, now let's try to figure out what does my build Gradle build.gradle look like. Dependencies. Okay, so I have the Mojang Minecraft. There's no Minecraft there, but I guess that's because this is a library. There's mappings, v2, yarn mappings. Doesn't seem to have the mappings. Configurations, loom. Actually, let's go one by one. Plugins, okay, so I have a fabric loom. So there's no loom, so I guess maybe Mojang intermediary are the default. Version, group, okay. Base, archives name, access widener. Okay, so I have that there. Architecture, do I have architecture anyway? Loom will automatically attach sources jar to remap sources just jar task and to the build the task if it's present. If you remove this line, sources will not be generated, okay? Publishing, so what's next? Configurations. Don't have that. What does it do? No clue. Dependencies. I have mappings, I have fabric loader. There's fabric loader. Mod API is fabric API. Mod implementation. This is technically optional. I'm going to update and allow you to update your mod to the latest modules at a later, more convenient time. Okay. Okay, so that's for probably. Not sure. What are my Gradle properties? That check these on develop. The latest version, loader version is accurate and fabric API. Fabric version 96.11. There I am again, Saparni. How you doing? Okay, so Fabric API, I'm technically 7 minor versions behind. Automatically update mappings, okay. Wiki page. Mappings. Okay, I've just read most of that. Okay, that's it actually. I skipped that main part I was looking for. Reading all of that, or never mind, that's not what I read. Not much different from yesterday. I hope you're doing well then. I've personally been reading, like, I've spent last 40 minutes probably trying to finally get to input. Yeah, I started with trying to make it with network packets, but I think it turns out that you can't have multiple channels for a packet. You can't register multiple channels for the same packet. Receivers, I guess. And I still couldn't figure out how to do that for built-in packets. So I finally got to the Moonlight lib. Okay, I closed it. And it basically, where is it? It basically injects, is that it? Is, but I got lost. Okay, it basically injects a call to the vehicle handle input here. So after this input tick, my set inputs on my entity is called. So that's probably what I'm going to do since I don't have a better idea than just in tick. We'll call steer. But before I do that, I'm trying to figure out how are the intermediary mappings done. Because I was inspiring myself by the snow, what's not called, snowy spirit. Okay, so by that mod, Moldrinth, snowy spirit. Let me find that real quick. Snowy spirit. So yeah, I was looking for the vehicle mods so I could like have something to copy more or less. And that was the main one I was getting inspired by. And it's using Moonlight Lib, and long story short, I couldn't figure out at the beginning how it's done, because if you look at Moonlight Lib, it's importing a white page is bad. Every time you switch, it's like a mine. Yeah, same for me. Okay, so let me try to not open. Although I will have to go back to it. Okay, so yeah, here it's has net Minecraft client player, local player, and I couldn't figure out how to. I was thinking that maybe it's an issue with the version, but this is Moonlight Lib for 1.20.4. It turns out that this Moonlight Lib is using imports from the from the intermediary mappings, and I'm trying to figure out where to get them from. Because by default this is using yarn versions. So for your ID directly, okay. Go to Javadoc, Fabric Loader. I just want to know how I could set make it so I can use the intermediary mappings myself, basically. Because by default it looks like it's using the your yarn mappings, and yeah, I'm just curious how you would use intermediary ones. Okay, updating yarn mappings in a Java codebase. Semi-automatic. This automated process currently does not handle mixins. Okay, so go here, select the version to migrate to, and copy the Gradle command under mappings migration. Okay, I think that's it. Migrate mappings. Online documentation, okay. Technically, I could just for a moment do the dark mode filter JS. Let's see. JS snippet. JS snippet. In dark mode, yes, saving choice, light or black. Oh man, whatever, let me just do that manually. New node. Let me just filter, invert. Okay, there we go. An amazing dark mode. That is much better, actually. Okay, so run the command in the root of your Gradle project. Your migrated sources will appear in a remapped source. Verify that the migration produced by the migrated code. Copy the sources from that to the original folder. Keep the original sources backed up just in case. I never knew that. Damn, now I'm not flashing anyone anymore, and taught me something. Yeah, there was a JavaScript snippet. Actually, my friend linked it to me, so maybe I'll just find it real quick for you. Basically, just does the same. It's not going to work on every page, and the images probably look awful right now. But yeah, there is that. So let's see if it works. If I were to paste that here, yeah, it does the same. So let's see it. Just runs the JavaScript, creates an element that's on top of the page, and that's a. Okay, actually, it uses the mix blend difference, so not invert, but yeah, more or less the same. Okay, so let's see. If you want to go from Mojang's official mappings, aka Mojmap, to Yarn, make sure your mappings in build Gradle is set to Loom official Mojang mappings. What's mine set to? Okay, that's Wheelbarrow entity. I need, I guess, build Gradle is set to mappings in build.gradle, set to Loom official Mojang mappings. Okay, I'm not sure what mine is set to. What if I wanted to go the other way around? I mean, there's no example. Okay, so I'll just try to figure out that off stream, I guess. I am curious and I haven't found how it's done. Actually, let's just see here. API, common, mod compile only, cloth. So that's all of the build Gradle, some Java stuff I had known nothing about. And that's, I think I was here. See, process resources, shadow jar or remap jar. Okay, no, still no clue what it does. Okay, so I'll just try to target that thing with a mixin. I'm probably going to need linky. And I need the client player entity. Okay, and that's the tick movement method. Not on class, but everything. Tick. Client player, I missed an E. Oh no, I haven't. Client player entity. Okay, looks like it bugged out. Man, not now. Come on. Okay, let's... No, it still saves what I've searched for. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, so how do I tackle it? Okay, let's start with a mixin. That's probably a client mixin. Oh, I closed that again. It is most likely a client mixin. Let's have another one, and that should be the client player entity mixin. Okay, and I'm not sure what it has to extend yet. We will figure that out. Okay, that loaded. Is that working? Nope. Ah, because I have all filters off. Ah, it's so unintuitive. That's how you turn them off. Okay, my bad. Client, player, entity. And I need tick movement, tick. Tickables, tick, tick, tick. Movement. Nope. I mean, that's it. Living entity, tick movement. Why not client, player, entity? That's concerning. Client, player, entity. Tick. Doesn't seem to have that method for some reason. If I look at its code. Abstract client, player, entity, client, player, entity. And let's see where this mixin is called actually. This is the local player mixin. That's called in Moon, yeah, upon client, okay. That should be everything I need. Let's not close that just yet. Let's see, there should be the tick. Init tick movement. Okay, so that's the method I want. And here it has override, whereas there's no override here for some reason. Entity tick movement. Okay, so I guess I will have to use recap for that. It looks like it doesn't have it, but it shouldn't be too hard. See, can I use the Fabric 1.20.4 source? Where's that? Here. Let's do that here too. And I need client, player, entity. Oh man, really? Okay, that's a bit low contrast, but it is what it is. See, tick, tick, tick. Okay, there's no... Okay, but these are fields, and I need methods summary. Tick movement. Okay, so that's the mixing selector. Name tick movement mixing selector. So first, let's make sure the class is correct. It just extends abstract player entity. Okay, that sounds like it has a lot of stuff it needs to implement. Let's see. Okay, so just constructor, I guess. Hopefully. Okay, so that's abstract, client player entity mixing, shadow, let's see, not no. Is that fine? Shadow is disallowed for this location. Can constructor not be shadowed? I guess it cannot. Can I just do that? Minecraft client can be resolved to a type. Nice song, by the way. I'm enjoying it. Okay, so that's a mixin. Now I'm going to name, let's see if it compiles. Okay, I haven't added it to my mixins, so it's going to. Once I add it, client, player, and something might happen. Big movement, okay. More messages, okay, so I haven't cleaned that up. They're messing with network. And have to do the same in client. Okay. What's that song? That's from Arcane. I love Arcane. Okay, it seems to be kinda launching. Is it? It is, okay. Rather inject. Okay, and how is an inject done? Because I haven't done them enough to know by now. Like that. And that can be just public void Shouldn't be public. Private, okay. Wheelbarrow on input. Call, whatever it can be called. Back info, I guess. Let's just do classic printout. Hi. Okay. And add, okay. Unable to determine the location. Okay, so that can't be that. The method has to be tick movement. Can it be named? Hope it can. For some reason it's not wrapping. Okay, and now this has to be that. Okay, now that's the method I'm targeting actually. So what does it have to be? It has to be this. So this is tick, input tick. Here there's some, let's see, end player input. So that's a different class. How do I figure out what it is if Linky doesn't have it? I guess let's use recap and hope it works. When I found this, I was linked in this bytecode viewer and recap, and when I'm not too sure what it does, what it's actually for, makes it so I can, let's see, search, not a string, a class, and I need the client player entity. So I can basically, or can I? So that should be in the render entity model. Okay, no, not here. Where would that be? Unfortunately, I can't zoom that in. Might be a bit too hard for you to see. He compiles the jar to human readable ones. Yeah, I mean, more or less, I have it already here though. Okay, wait, let me find that thing. Let me just do open that. Go to definition. It opens that. Now can I find the client player entity? Abstract client player entity. That's not quite it. Where is the actual client player entity I'm looking for? Network, client player entity. Okay, that's it. So yeah, I can basically view the same thing as I have in my IDE, but it also has a table view. Yeah, I can choose a decompiler. But if I choose a table view, I have all the methods. Now if I find that tick movement method that I'm trying to target, where is it? Name. Oh man, that's so small. Tick, 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 tick movement. Tick movement, okay. So if I edit the tick movement with assembler, yeah, then I can see basically all the target stuff I need to do. Yeah, I mean the mixing targets that I would use. So here I have the biped model entity that's targeting the access of the riding variable with OP codes get field. So that's basically where I got it from. That would be that get field and then this. So now if I just find the input tick method, okay, that's it. Invoke virtual, okay. That's just it. I think let's see if that's the correct spot. Okay, that's my mixin. Use book. So I need tick, input tick. Okay, so that's right after sneaking pose. Slow down. Okay, so yeah, that's Is that it? Should slow down, yeah, that's called here. Wait, I'm a bit lost. I load this. Okay, so there is F. And into the F, I'm guessing okay, whatever, that should be just it. Let's YOLO it. That should be my mixing target. Except this has to be, I think, semicolon, and this has to be colon. No, that's not how it works. It is a semicolon and a colon. By the way, this is the return value after the colon. But where do I put the arguments? Okay, like that, I guess. Living entity. Oh man, and now I'm lost again. Okay, because I understand that this is the return value of whatever I'm accessing here. So here this is the boolean. Z stands for boolean for some reason. F is all floats. But see if I can just find the input tick, maybe that's going to help. Tick. Boolean and a float. Okay, so that's boolean and a float, that's correct. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I don't have a... Okay, that's not correct place. So I guess semicolon goes here. No, okay, so there's just nothing there. Not fully qualified. Okay, at invoke and shift after. I need lnet, I guess. Okay. Let's see. Input, semicolon tick, and then the parameters, arguments, whatever, and the return value. Okay. Should be it. That's nice. And let's see if it compiles. It did. That's nice. Okay, so there's a lot of high. If I dismount, I mean, it makes sense because I'm still moving, I guess. So now if I were to check the... let's do the same thing Moonlight Lib does, and we should be set. Yeah, I need to do that. Instance of, and that has to be a Wheelbarrow entity. Wheelbarrow and on input. Maybe, what did I call it? Okay, this input. Why is there no more of this? Okay, if read on entity is that. Let's see, input equals this input. Okay, it doesn't know what this is. Has my LSP died? See, one at a time imports entity. It looks like it's struggling. Entity, okay, none of these are Java entity. Okay, I don't need that. I need my wheelbarrow. entity. Wheelbarrow, okay, and should have set inputs. Okay, it does. Okay, and this input is unknown. Okay, so this is also unknown. So I guess I need to do actually, let me just try to log it out first. System, this input can be resolved to a field. Can I cast that? Probably can't. Okay, so I need to do this object thingy. Do I do that here? I don't. So that should be find player entity. This object. Okay. Let's see if that's going to be the input. Okay, but nice, progress is being made, finally. Okay, it looks like I'm the same. Okay, this input is all of that. Okay, so let's just YOLO this. Input equals this object input. Left, right. Okay, so I guess that's not what these are called anymore. Let's see. Jumping, pressing left. Okay. Pressing up. Okay, so it's not up. I guess it's forward. Back, and that has to be. So I'm not a fan of that. I'm not sure I can do this Minecraft. This Minecraft options, fabric instance. Input sprinting. Is there anything sprinting related here? Sneaking, movement forward, movement sideways, hash code. And then doesn't seem to be. Okay, so how do I figure out if it's sprinting? Let's do false for now, and input, jumping, okay. That's the same. Okay, so I have set inputs. That should be set. Think forward, left, right, back, okay. So let's just try to figure out how to get the sprinting, and then should move on. Should be able to move on and move our wheelbarrow with us. Sprinting. Last sprinting. What's last sprinting? A boolean, okay. Printing packets. Movement packets. Can start sprinting. That's after. How is can start sprinting determined? If not is sprinting, okay. Maybe I can just do this is sprinting. That will be fine. This object is sprinting. Swimming is also considered sprinting, okay. This seems more or less fine. And then I'll just have to spend a lot of time tweaking the movement values. But maybe I'll do that over the weekend. It doesn't seem that interesting. Let's see, what do I have to do off stream then? I have to do the CI and then tweak the values so that they make sense. No, but I don't have any logs to verify all of that. Where do I want to put my logs? Whatever, it can be in steer. Maybe inputs. Okay, so let's try to do it like... I think asking ChatGPT will be faster. Should have Copilot for that. I don't think I want to. Set Copilot in NeoVim. Set up Copilot in NeoVim. I don't care enough to do it. Like that's the first time I thought I want to have it. In Java, give me system print line statement would print out this pressing forward, see left, right, back, jumping, and this sprinting, each in new line. I love GitHub Copilot and I get it for free because of my apprenticeship. It doesn't... Oh, I guess I forgot about that. GitHub Copilot is not free anymore, is it? Would make sense actually. Does it not have a free version at all? Large, that's Copilot Enterprise Individual. Okay, so it doesn't have a free version. Okay, nice. You have to pay, but for students it's free. I mean, that's actually the first time I've wanted it. Okay, I mean, I thought it would do it in one system print line, but I mean, these are fine. Also, odd labels, which one is which areas. You just have to verify that you are a student. Unfortunately, I'm not. Okay, but I mean, it didn't... Okay, it took considerably longer for me to ask Copilots to do that. Rather, ChatGPT to do that. That's fine. Okay, and now, hopefully, it should all just be smooth sailing from here. Steer. Okay. Can't remember that song. I do like it. It's cool. Let's see if the movements are logged. Okay, no logs there for some reason. Is it concerning? Nope. Okay, so they are called only... Okay, that makes sense because you need a controlling player for movements to be happening. So I am pressing some... Okay, it looks like there was a change. Let's see, can I find it now? Because I pressed a couple of buttons, but there was so many. I don't think I can find it. Okay, but I know a fix for that. Add an if statement for each, so it only logs when it's true. Nice. So that should be all needed to verify if we've got our movement working correctly. I love that song. Okay. Okay, forward, back, left, right, jumping. Okay, jumping is okay, it's working. And how? Okay, it doesn't know that I'm sprinting, so that's unfortunate. I guess I have to handle that with that button thingy. Oh man, I closed that again. Ah, so dumb. Okay, shouldn't be too hard to find. Okay, so everything other than sprinting works. Which sprinting should be just if I'm pressing the sprinting button. Okay, because is sprinting instant? Okay, no, I mean there is like a velocity. Okay, that's amazing that works. Oh, finally, after 2 days or 3 even, we got there. Let's see, commit these. Need entity. What are you programming? If you don't mind answering, mostly or whatever. Just what languages they use. Okay, let's see. Get player inputs mixing. Okay, now let's figure out how to get the sprinting. It was using this object Minecraft. I don't think I have. Network handler, stat handler. Minecraft client, okay, maybe that's client. That would be this object, client. Okay, I just saw that. What was it? It is client, and it's protected. Mainly I use Python, but my work requires me to use HTML, TS, and Angular. So one of the classic web stacks. Mainly me, I use Python. Okay, so I mean reasonable choices. Okay, so that should be this object. So I guess I can't access it then. Protected. Client. Okay, I can. That's nice. Options. Okay, I can't. It's not visible. Oh man. Okay, maybe there's something else. Doesn't seem like it. So is sneaking last sprinting. I mean, using last sprinting probably wouldn't be noticeable because it's like a one tick delay, I guess, but would have to use an access modifier, I guess. Protected. Is it really not mm, accessible to me, visible to me here? Should be. Probably cast doesn't understand that I'm in the actual instance. But let's see first if the Minecraft client is what I need. Um, Options, game options, okay, and here it was probably. Let's see, what was it? His sprint is down. Sprint toggled. Key mining for sprinting. Okay. Sprint toggle, sprint key. Or am I all keys? Okay, so that's just a huge array. Get sprint toggled, toggle sprint. So that's not quite is down. I guess just toggled handles that too. Okay, so technically, how could I get access to that? Because where is this set? Maybe I can just client. Okay, in constructor. So can't I do this here? Private final Minecraft client. Here do the client equals client. This. Can I do that? And options input. Okay. What was it? Keys print. Keys. All keys. All keys. An array of all key bindings. Okay, that's an array, not a map. Code to shrink, maybe get class. That's not it either. So not all keys. Model part enabled. Back key, chat key, sprint key. Okay. Is pressed. There's note that if you are continuously calling this method, like every tick, it doesn't always catch all key presses. This is because the key can be pressed and released before the check. First, if the key is being held down, okay, I mean, does it handle the also C was pressed? I wonder if this is, if both of these handle the people could toggle their sprint. Is pressed. Okay, let's try. I wonder if there's an issue with me doing it like that. Instead of using an access widener would make it so I have to restart and re-download all the sources. And I'm not too keen on doing it. I mean, I guess, okay, I'll just do access widener later, but now let's just verify that it works. Okay, so is pressed. This client options sprint key is pressed. Plus is toggled. This client options sprint toggled. What was this? Man, I just closed it. Minecraft client. Where am I? Options toggled. Key. Game options. Sprint. Sprint toggled. Private final. Okay, that's a final thingy. Probably because you use get. Sprint toggled, hopefully. All keys. Get sprint toggled. Okay, so that's public. Get sprint toggled. I hate that it doesn't autocomplete that when I'm typing sprint. I could probably configure it to do so. So let's now try to check that. If both of these are the same, do the same. I mean, pressing probably doesn't do the same, but I hope get toggled handles it. Doesn't have a Java doc. I mean, it's clear what it does, but it's not clear when it does it. So that's going to spam, and I guess that's fine. Okay, it's not because I did that in an if statement, okay. So, false and sprint. Okay, so that's not a get sprint toggled. What's that? A simple option boolean, or maybe get of boolean, boolean text getter, get value. When? What other methods does it have that I wouldn't? Like, why is it just not a boolean? Okay, so let's restart hopefully for the final time. And how will I handle the control sled? If this is vehicle, I mean, how would it not be the vehicle? Power. That's not sure what it is. Get delta movement, can steer. Okay, so that's some complicated stuff. Further than that, okay, and I will have to rotate it. Crappy steering. Okay, I have no clue how to tackle rotating. Maybe it won't be that complicated. Okay, so now I'm pressing is toggled. So now it works only when I'm pressing it, makes sense. Why is there second line? Okay, because sprinting through is triggering. Okay, so that's what I want. Okay, but what if I change my sprint to toggle now? Sprint, hold, toggle. Pressing forward. Okay, so now I'm sprinting and it's pressed. So it's pressed seems to handle both cases. Okay, so it's true when it's toggle and it's true when it's hold. So that's what I have to listen to. Okay. I guess, I mean, makes sense that the Moonlight lib does it the way it's supposed to be done. Just wanted to see for myself. Okay, so to do access widener it. Or maybe I could use a reflection actually. It's the fabric reflection. I would like to minify that. The minify.js. Not quite. Maybe remove white space. Oh, I messed something up. A var cover. I see. CSS is not defined, so let CSS. Okay. Not all white space, I guess. See, a reflection. Compared to regular Java development, since Minecraft has been remapped between. Okay, so that's not it. I wanted a mixing reflection. I guess that's not what reflection means. Mixing is an ASM. Accessor, okay, I think that's what I want. Allows you to access fields. Suppose we want to access item use cooldown field of Minecraft client class. Okay, so that's actually exactly what I'm trying to do. No client attached. Oh no, my LSP died. Why did it do that? Okay, it's starting. Ooh. That might have been the end. the Minecraft client. Okay, so it has. I'll be gone for like quite a bit of time because I will make myself some food. Yeah, the stream will be ending. I mean, not like in half an hour. That's fine. Hope you enjoyed your time here. And hope you make some good food. See you. The directory, options. Item is cooldown. Okay, and the cooldown for using item private. Okay, so this is private. So I'm trying to access this client options. Private options. Game options. Okay, so yeah, this is public final game options. Okay, so the client is private actually inside of the end player entity. So okay, this is the same as the item cooldown. Okay, so this is private and this is what I'm trying to access. Okay, so this should be the same scenario. Getting a value from the field. Mixing accessor. Setting a value to the field. Okay, so actually that's... I'll make myself some good food and thank you. No problem. Okay, so that's maybe not actually. Invoker for static methods. Minecraft client accessor. Okay, so here we cast get instance. This get instance. Nope. Minecraft client get instance. Okay, can I just call that wherever? Wherever, whenever? Oh. Not sure. I mean, kind of would make sense if I were. Also, kind of doesn't. What if I were to do that? Accessor is going to be Minecraft client. Get client. This get client. Oh, never mind, there's a getter for that. Okay, so there's... Okay, there isn't. I just made it up. Makes sense. This get client. Accessor. Method requires a body instead of semicolon. I mean, this one doesn't. Usage. Usage that are not visible, private, or final. Object. Get client. And if I cast that to the client player entity mixin. Oops. Insert a thingy. What have I messed up? Entity. Oh man, and the stream disconnected. Oh, that's unfortunate. I will let it disconnect hopefully, or rather reconnect. Okay, I know what. This object input, why not? Okay, reconnected successfully, that's good. Let me restart it on my browser. Okay, it should be working. Okay, and with that, so I can't do it like that, and it says that the method requires a body instead of a semicolon. Okay, but I guess client is correct. It actually doesn't make sense that accessor wouldn't need anything else. How does it know that I won't get item use cooldown? Usage. Get instance, get item use cooldown. Setting a value to the field. Accessor item use cooldown set. Okay, so why does it not want that? Defines the accessor method in a mixin. The method can be a getter, must return the field type and take no arguments, or a setter. Must take an argument of that field type and return void. The annotated method must be abstract. Mine isn't. Okay, this one isn't either. Abstract. An invoker. Accessors can be used. So let's see some examples. I mean, they probably don't have examples because that's doesn't get much simpler than that. Okay, but let's see. Setting a value to the field, invoker. Let's see to access methods. Okay. For static methods, accessor for static fields. Setting. Okay, so I think it should have a client here. Input can be resolved or it's not a field. So I lost that. That's less than ideal. So whatever, maybe I can do that with an access widener. I'm using so many access wideners despite. I mean, for some reason I'm thinking of them as like a last resort, more or less. At least not something that you just throw out everywhere. Maybe it's fine. Does this have an access widener? It does. Okay, so that's actually does do a lot. Or I mean a lot. Like a reasonable number of things. Let's see, I need the client player entity. And I need the client. Didn't get lost, unfortunately. That is what I'm trying to access. Client, okay, an access widener. So this is, let's see, we should say private, protected, yep. Okay, so I gotta do that, I guess, then. Okay, now the access widener. Okay, I mean, whatever, no need for comments. They are clear enough, I guess. So I mean, now I have to generate these sources. technically, rather theoretically, let's see, tasks. How do I just refresh all of that? Okay, I have tasks open. Gen sources, CFR, Fernflower, Vineflower, default decompiler, common sources, decompile Minecraft using the default compiler, common, client only, okay. Okay, let's, whatever. Try Gradle W, clean, Gradle W, okay, let's try Gen sources, and let's try all of these two. Okay, so this is CFR, which is the CFR decompiler. Okay, so I mean, you know, whatever. Let's just stream for a while longer. Let's just get anything moving. I think that it's today. I just want to have the movements happening. So let's stream for a couple more minutes. Okay, so this seems to be calling the common client sources. Okay, so this seems to be doing a lot of stuff. For some reason it doesn't. Yeah, last time I did that, it didn't apply the access widener. Maybe it's doing that right now. Hopefully. I doubt it. Oh, and let's see. Client won't be starting now. LSP. See gradient W status. All of these stopped. There's one idle. So now let's try to run client, which actually probably won't run if the access widener wasn't applied. Seems to be compiling. Okay, so it did compile. At least. There still should be logs about me sprinting, so let's see that. Okay, sprinting true, forward, left, right, back. Okay. Let's also make sure this is working. It is. Okay, so access widener worked. That's nice. So now I just have to make my LSP work. Which it's refusing. Okay. Oh. Seem to just have to like move my mouse around, then it kicks in. That's a really quiet song. Well, actually, I remember the song from the Mage Seeker, and the, let's see, Amp song was actually chill, quite chill. I did like that. So give me a moment, I'm trying to find it. Discography. Wayfinder, the Mage Seeker, okay, and let's see, is there the camp music? And Danger, Imprisoned. Lux theme. Man, I'm unable to find that. Looks like. Or at least it's not called the way I remember it. It's whatever. I'll try to find it for tomorrow's stream. So it's still saying that it's not visible, but it should be. So whatever, let's not care about that. I'll just reset my sources of stream again. This time remove all of the caches. It's working, then I don't care. I would assume that it wouldn't let me do that. Or wouldn't compile. It wasn't working. Okay, so I have set inputs, steer, and now let's just try to make it move. It's a simple move forward, I guess. How does this do it? Okay, input left, input right, delta rotation. Steering, crappy steering. And that's seems to be the same. Well, let's see what the rotation is going to look like. Side acceleration. If this is vehicle, why would I check that? Yeah, maybe sled can be something other than the vehicle. And delta rotation has to be. So there's this delta rotation. Is that the yaw velocity? Maybe. Ground status touching ground. I don't have that. Ground collision. Whatever, let's not have that. Okay, whatever, let's just start with going forward. See, is vehicle, something, side acceleration, this input up. That's forward. Okay, if it's on snow, we have acceleration. Why is it called MTH instead of like math helper? See the math helper. From degrees. Okay, let's try to use this thing again. Seems to be the same. Get yaw. Here, okay. Me having that. Okay, that's the same. So this is yaw, okay, times float, math pi, divided by 180. So that's just 2 radians, I think. Yeah, this is radians. Float radians equals type mismatch. Okay, so that has to be cast to a float. Your radians. Yes, and what was age? Age was the bigger, other larger sine, cosine. Okay, and I don't have offset, so let's see. Okay, I have to add. Here I add 0. Should be just 0, I think. It's fine. Okay, so let's add the... what do I add here? If is pressing, this is pressing, is forward, pressing forward. Okay, so let's add the double velocity was 0. I think he used F for that. See, power, apply friction. Okay, there's a float here for some reason. Whatever. Velocity equals, okay, let's make it something he did. Okay, and I don't have this get delta movement. I don't have that either set. The set delta movement. So that's not a custom method. That's what is it? Set velocity, I think. Set velocity. Get velocity. Add. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, and now I just have to make it be the same. So let's see, this is minus. Okay, so it shouldn't matter where it is. So that's radians. Okay, so that's the same. I'm sure it's divided by larger one of the two. Why is it divided by the larger one of the two? I don't understand. Okay, we'll see. That has to be the... Oh man, I am struggling. That has to be... double sine. Let's keep these floats. So sine times velocity divided by larger sine cosine. Is that correct? More or less. And this has to be cosine times velocity divided by larger sine cosine. Okay. So this should work only when pressing forward. Okay, I just honestly wanted to move, that's all. I'll be happy with that. There's friction when not facing the right way, allows braking. Okay, it's going, it got stuck here. It's going, let's go! Oh man, I'm so happy with it. Okay. So, I mean, it's moving the same as the boat. Okay, and now it zooms. Okay, so that's great. Let's go! Okay, so I can just make a... Oh! Okay, I should be in that moving. And it shouldn't slide. Okay, yeah, so when I stop pressing it, yeah, it like keeps its velocity. Okay, well that's amazing. Oh man, let's go. Okay, finally we got there. So happy with it. Huge. Okay, I'm so excited. So I think that's a good point to end the stream. Let me just comment these. Let's see, versus it. Entity. Or maybe let's just call it client player entity. Access widen client. If entity init moving forward. Huge. Let's go. Okay. So happy with it. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be everything for today. Thanks for tuning in. And tomorrow we'll see. I don't think we will mess with the movement because that's something I just have to restart over and over. Yeah, I will probably just handle directions, but the velocity, the actual values, and the I think it's called the friction, slipperiness, I think. Yeah, that's what some the values. I will have to mess with those values off stream probably because it's just restarting over and over. Okay, but probably we should be able to do some of the other to-dos like wheel animation and yanking only when driven. Okay. Yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in and see you tomorrow. Bye.